Then after that, the next visit.
Okay, the next visit, this is the couple to decide.
Yeah.
Some people have the pre-weddings and coitus and those kind of things. You can decide to have those ones. They're not absolutely, completely. But if parents ask for it, yes, if parents ask for it and they want to organize one, that is very okay. I think one of the things we need to watch out for that is that we don't put a burden on the couple, especially, or on the man. The ladies, tafadhali on behalf of men. If you're doing a pre-wedding or a coito, let him be free of it, because it's mostly concerning your family and the people around you, your community. So if there's a day you can set for that and the parents want to kind of say goodbye to you and to the community, that's okay. If you have the money as well, please go ahead and do it. So I think that would be the...
No, there's one more. The dowry.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So,
which even sometimes comes before the coito or the pre-wedding.
Yes. Okay. So, from those visits, some of the things that will come up is that maybe her parents will want to meet my parents. I think that is also one thing they had overlooked.
Yeah.
So there will be a need for the parents now to meet. Yes. So that can be a different day now. After the two visits, I visited her place and she has visited my place. So the parents may also need to meet. That is good. Sometimes here in Kenya, at the moment, people live very far. Parents are in Mombasa, somebody's in Busia, and those logistics are hard sometimes. So if you can compress the visit and have fewer, that would be better. So, but it's good if you can also plan for a day when the parents can come together and meet and talk. That would be good. From those talks, now they're the ones who normally come up with the idea of we can set a day for dowry negotiations and those kind of things. So at that point, mostly the couple may not have a lot of say in the sense, especially in the African context, because it now becomes the older people, the parents, the family who would want to set even the day for that to happen. They'll consult you, yes. They can set dates when they know somebody will be around or they are free. So that kind of thing, and it's good if that happens. And I think there's no order. This one should happen first and this one later. But logically, there are things you'd want to happen before some
happen. Yes. And on the dowry, now here to address dowry generally. Ladies, this is the place where you stand in for your fiancé. Ahead of time, feel your parents. What kind of questions or how much would they be wanting to get from your future husband or your their family? And if you can, to use the Swahili word tetea, defend your future husband, because now that you're becoming one, any money that comes from him is actually money that's coming from the both of you, from your future. So if your family is asking for 500,000 or even 1,000,000 shillings, some of those outrageous figures, that's a whole house built halfway, so that think in terms of we are becoming one, we are already one in many aspects. So anything that comes from him is coming from my future, coming from us. And your family is not losing you, they are gaining a son. And if it's that you went to school, he also went to school. Some of those things that our parents say, tulipeleka huyu msichana shule, kamlipia mpaka college. He's also gone up to college, so should we also pay his family? Just bringing in the Christ aspect into some of these traditions. They are most times oppressive and lack the aspect of love, in that it's just what can I gain out of this. And many times people who have not even been part of your upbringing are included in this. Your uncles, aunties, sister, the neighbor who lives somewhere. Someone was telling me recently that in here in Langas, one of the states here in in Eldoret, there's actually someone in one of the communities who's known. He's not even a family member, but there are those elders who are known. You call them, and when they are coming, they have set a price. They say, out of this negotiation, I want my this percentage, or just an amount. I want my 100K, my 50K from this. So people are already coming with demands who are not even family members. So that's why the dowry price gets inflated. That's not the Christian way to go.
Yeah. If parents are watching, imagine if your son got married to an Indian. Because now you're the one to pay the bride price or whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
Will you also want to be treated the same way? Yeah. That is the kind of question you need to ask. And then look at the condition of the young man, and you're crippling him even before he begins. And I've had a friend say he was asked for a particular sum of money. He gave and said that will be the last time I help that family. Let it not start that way. It doesn't have to begin that way. But also on the other side, we've seen very good way of approaching that. Personally, by the way, awesome. I was treated very, very well. Very well. I was not asked anything. I was the one to go and ask to explain it to my parents, because they are traditional, to tell them by the way, they don't need anything. They had to come themselves to confirm that actually they don't need anything. I also seen some places where a man takes something to the lady's family, and the lady's family also give the man's family
something in return.
Yeah. So this is happening, and we should not make it a materialistic venture, which sometimes it has deteriorated too. And I had once somebody asked for, I think, 150 goats. They thought it would be converted to money. The young man went and bought 150 goats, put them on a truck, went to the compound of the father-in-law, dumped them there and went. So let it not be that way. And then if you really love your daughter, think of it as you're helping your daughter begin well financially, and anything that you can do to help them start that way. If the dowry aspect can be, let it not be a price, a set price, let be open and free. That will also make them, the young people, willing to participate. Because even for the young men, one of the things that really hinders their interest in marriage or in weddings is that aspect of dowry. So may we not put stumbling blocks on these young people who themselves, they don't even want to get married first of all. We'll remove those ones and let them get. Not ask Adam for a bride price. Tell him a very wonderful lady called Eve.
And that does not mean you go empty-handed as a man, that you go empty-handed to see this family. Go with something, an appreciation, a token of appreciation, whatever God puts on your heart, just to say, I appreciate that, you have honored me with the joy just to be part of this family through becoming your daughter's husband. Just that sense of appreciation, and vice versa. Girls, when you go to their man's home, don't go empty-handed. It's good to carry something, to carry a paper bag, as they say in some places.
Yes, excuse the band.
Yes, not this there. No, paper. It used to be plastic bags. Paper bag.
Iko na calendar Peel 2019.
Yes. They are green, or yellow.
Yeah, hiyo ni history, by the way. Someone will be watching this in 2057. You used to have calendars on paper bags.
Plastic bags. Yes. Okay. So I think that covers everything on setting dates.
Yeah, from those visits, there will be the wedding day will come up somewhere, and you should have an idea, maybe a month, and then present it to the parents, both sides, and see if it will work. If they suggest something, listen to them, because they want to be part of it, and it's not just your day; it involves them as well. Because they also have friends they want to invite. And they're trying to see the best day for that. So don't be too rigid. I want to get married on February 14th.
But it's okay to have that suggestion in mind, because a lot of times also they bring it back to the couple. So when do you people are you thinking of having this wedding? So involve God again, pray, and work backwards. I think that's one thing that helped us. We said we want to get married in September. So working backwards, when do we need to have all these visits? And try and make them as early in the planning process as possible. You should not be having your last visits, like your dowry visit, 3 weeks to the wedding or 2 weeks to the wedding. You are putting yourself into a lot of unnecessary stress. So make these visits as early as possible in the planning process. For example, if you have a year to plan, if you, in the first 2 months or 3 months of that year you have finished with your visits, it will really free your mind. And also because of the financial implications, it will help you to have that buffer. So plan for these things as early as possible. Involve God. He provides, He provides, He provides, He provides. I think we saw that with ourselves.
Yeah. I think that is one thing. We didn't have the money to set the date, so that we are setting the date because we have the money. No. I think there's an aspect that how God is involved in things is when there's a God problem in it. And a God problem is one that you cannot solve by yourself. So that means, for example, I can set a date and I don't know for sure how I'll get all the necessities for that day. But since I believe in a God who provides, then I can take it to Him. And if there's peace concerning that, I go ahead with it. And amazingly, we set the dates and none bounced. Yet I didn't have an account that this is now for the visits. No. So I think leaving the gap for faith. Don't let everything for you be decided financially. Since I have money, then I can do this. No. God is, I think, remember a friend of ours was saying that, a wedding is not an emergency. So you should save for it. And another friend replied, and I liked it. He said, by their death is even more sure. Everyone should start saving when you are born, because you'll die. I think the aspect of sharing one another and sharing each other's burdens, that old song, that is the aspect of it all. That you're telling the community, by there I'm not self-sufficient. I also depend on you, and we depend on God together. That is the aspect of it.
For sure, we saw God come. And I think sometimes it may not be, when we keep saying God provided for us, it may not make sense, but He was working for a ministry and...
Same at Youth for Christ. I couldn't okay. Youth for Christ.
Youth for Christ. So anyway, he was working for Youth for Christ then, and they used to get an allowance. But that year, 2012, January, there was a donor who was supporting the ministry in Kenya, and they pulled out. The program came to an end. So his allowance ended that January. I didn't have a job yet. I just finished my master's, and I was trying to find a job. So we were truly depending on the Lord to make this work. And we were saying, because if we were to sincerely, I was thinking about it the other day, if we had pegged our getting married on being financially stable, maybe now is when we would be thinking. No, we would be thinking, at least now I have a job somewhere that makes sense. And yours also. So at least we would be thinking now maybe it's possible 7 years, almost 7 years down the road is when we'll be getting married. So
getting all your ducks lined up before you do something eliminates the God aspect. Now it's your arm that has done it. Let God be involved in it. That's when you say, God, I can't, God help me.
Okay. So I think that covers the dates. If we've missed out anything, or if you have anything to ask about those dates and about those visits, in some communities they are way more. Like I know our people from Central, Kunarurashio, Korario, there are more than 3 visits for sure. So you will work within that. But like we said, if there are any parents watching, and you're a believer, do what Christ would do.
And also, sometimes I think that is one aspect we need to look at. We do syncretism without realizing we're doing it. We mix traditions.
Define syncretism and give 2 examples.
Mixing Christianity with African traditions, which are actually demonic in a sense. So we sometimes confuse those who are not Christians per se when we involve a lot of traditions in weddings, and when we come to funerals, we look like we don't want them. They're wondering, but we're the ones who did this for their daughter, their son when he was getting married. We did the traditional things. Why are they saying we don't get involved? So separating those things and take them to God. And we're not saying that by the British aspect of the wedding is the Christian one. No. take it still to God and see what He'll say concerning some aspects of our traditions that we have that we call African and good in a sense, but are against the gospel.
Yes. So thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe and like the videos and share. And this video, we haven't sent a shout out.
And we can send one
to Jirani wa potatoes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, there are people who live upstairs.
Yes.
It's called Mutaiga without a I.
Yes.
With bigger.
Like a wannabes.
Yes. Yeah. It's called Jirud Kentonaka. And the wife.
She's a garden of beautiful flowers. Yes.
Rose. Yeah, she has a good family. Poets. So hi you guys.
Hi Jirani.
One is coming. So atakuwa naona hii akikuja.
Yes. It was not me, it was him. So anyway, thank you so much, Rubies family. And indeed, we continue to pray that the Lord will bless your steps as you get married, and that He will build your marriages from the very beginning on the foundation that is Christ, our Lord and Savior. See you in the next video, where we will be talking about some people who are very important in this process and who will walk with you through marriage, how to choose your best couple. So see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.